just wandered through there and saw Harry Pell in the old space boot. How's the personnel looking?
Not as bad as what we thought, Harry, but I think it's going to be a big ask for him to play again this season, so just got to hope he recovers for the start of pre-season. One or two bumps and bruises, but nothing too major. And, you know, healthy competition with places.
Just on Harry Pell, he's known for being a big character and a big influence in your dressing room as well. Although he's out injured, can he still have that impact?
If he keeps turning up in a dress, Coley's turned up today, I think he'll provide plenty of laps. No, he's good around the dressing room as well, and you know, we'll be kicking every ball with the lads on Saturday, and he'll be in the dressing room trying to motivate them.
Are you going to give some details on his attire?
He's got a suit jacket on that. He possibly could have made his communion in. It's that small. But hey, I'm no Goch one, am I?
That is very true. It was another one of those nights the other night. Does it feel like Groundhog Day sometimes?
Well, you see them as much as I see them. I spoke to Mark Hughes last night, and he said it was very similar to the Plymouth game, where you control first half an hour of the game. Don't take your chances and then get punished. And the comment on mate and that is it's mistakes, and it's superior quality from the opposition, and that's, you know, you're always striving to be better, and you're always striving to improve, and we'll continue to do that till I'm not here.
Does it get to you?
Yeah, it's frustration and little breaks that don't go for you. You know, if you look at the build up to the second goal, and you know we've got to get it out. I've been speaking about this for a while, but look at the build up to the second goal, and there's within a 70-second period there's 3 fouls, and they'll all be soft. 2 of them are given, 1 isn't, and the one that isn't costs us the goal. When you see the ball again, you can see why the ball being, well, the other 2 probably not as clear cut as our one, but it is what it is, and we didn't execute our game plan as much, not so much for as long as what we should have. So we wanted to press them and their 3 attacking players, and we didn't get close enough to them. And when you don't get close enough to good players, they're going to hurt you, and they did. And that's something for us to learn from, and we're always trying to evolve and get better. And we're in a situation where we're having to learn players on the job, or teach players on the job, sorry. I learn, you teach, yeah. And so they're going to make mistakes. And that's what you have when you have, you know, if you look at we're playing a back 5, which you should go to defensively, and your goalkeeper, that's 6. 4 of them 21 and under, so maybe 22. So you'd like to think we'll get better, and I think we will get better.
You're on one of these little runs that you have from time to time without winning a game, and where things you feel like go against you, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong. With so many younger, less experienced players, how do you manage that? How do you stop it affecting them and getting to them, and them sort of being negatively impacted by it?
You've only got to focus on the next game you're playing, and you've got to take any obstacles out the way and just concentrate on that, and don't dwell too much on the mistakes that's gone on in the past, and look forward, look in a positive nature, and think what you can do to influence the game. And the more you focus on that, the less you worry about what's gone on before you know what's going to happen. You know, I watched Everton play last night, and I've watched them the last couple of games, Everton, and Everton are very similar to us in the fact that they're playing quite well, but they're not winning, and they're missing crucial chances in the stages of the game, and they're making elementary errors that are getting punished. And watching Everton play Burnley last night was akin to watching us over the last couple of weeks. And so I can empathise with how frustrated Frank Lampard will feel but you've got to keep going. And, you know, I think Neil Warnock made a good point today on the radio that when you go through these adverse situations or adversity, it makes you stronger, it makes you a better manager. And I've had enough of them in the past. And I think it's helped me, the fact that I've been through these before, and I know what the drill is.
Just on young players, Fleetwood, your opposition this weekend, have at times had to rely on under-23s players due to injuries and players being unavailable. And Stephen Craney said that they've brought a kind of fearlessness. They don't know the scale of the task in front of them. Do you find that young players bring you lots of positive things as well as those potential negatives of learning on the job?
The innocence of youth. I think if you look, I was speaking about this today with Jimmy, and I think if you look at Fleetwood's team against Lincoln, quite experienced. So you've got to be mindful of the fact you don't get carried away with that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. We've been saying this for years and years and years. The better teams are filled with players who make better decisions, and they make them quicker. And generally they make them decisions the quicker and they get them right. A high proportion, and that's what makes them better players. And if you're not careful, you just end up over-coaching players. And so they don't know how to adapt, they don't anticipate things. And that's something that we've always focused on here, trying to educate people in the decision-making process. And hopefully that lends itself to improving them as players.
Is it any coincidence that Fleetwood's results have improved since they started getting experienced players back?
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of them. I watched a couple of the last games. But football's lots of coincidences, and then people sometimes think putting one sock on before the other one makes a difference. I've been down that road myself, so possibly the comfort in doing similar things when you replicate what you've done. But I think if you work hard in the opposition and you get a little bit of luck, you've got great chances of winning football matches. And we'll be going out on Saturday to work hard on the opposition and hopefully play better.
That relegation picture at the bottom, maybe a couple of teams look like they're going to go, but it's not much clearer for the rest of them, and Fleetwood are one of them. What do you make of it?
Well, I'd like to get a win myself, so we're mathematically safe. But there'll be a lot of twists and turns, and nothing will be decided on Saturday. You know, Morecambe have just been on a great little run. And a week's a long time in football, or a short time, depending on where you're looking at it. But, you know, they'll feel a lot healthier with 6 more points in the bag. And, you know, we played 2 of the teams who were down there. We want to get away from it mathematically. But we could have a big say in it, playing both Fleetwood and Wimbledon.
Yeah, and you can have an impact, can't you? I guess that is a factor when you go into these games, that anybody who says nothing to play for.
Yeah, but you don't go into them games thinking I want to dent someone's prospects. You're going in there because you've got this undying will to win that's been honed in you since you were a child. And I know I've had it since as long as I can remember. I know Jimmy's got it. And I know John Doolan's got it. I know Jeb Brandon's got it. I know Andy Gray's got it. And I know a lot of our players have got it. And you've got to get it that everyone wants to win, no matter what they play. So you see our lads playing head tennis out there, and they want to win, and that's the spirit that you've got to foster. And when it doesn't matter when you lose, the competitive edge goes, and then you're just playing for fun. Well, there's plenty of time to play when you're playing in the bets games for fun. This is business, this is work, and this is your livelihood, and people are paying hard-earned money to watch you perform to the best of your ability, and that's the minimum you should be doing.